Today, let's dive into how I let go of certain habits to become a happier me. At least that's the plan. By the way, I'm Fiona. I used to live the ultimate New York City hustle. I was consumed by my 9 to 5 job, waking up at 6 a.m. for work, taking a 1 hour train, and then leaving past 6 p.m. Taking the same train back, and then basically not wanting to do anything at home but to go on my phone to escape my reality. I felt like I always had to be on the go and keeping up with the fast pace of the city. But honestly, I was unfulfilled and unmotivated. My energy was running low and I knew something had to change. So here are the 5 things I stopped doing to become a more fulfilled version of myself. I had this problem back then where I would just wake up, check on my phone notification, and then doom scroll, like literally just scroll on Instagram for like 30 minutes to an hour, and I would still be on my bed. Until one day I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast.
You're supposed to make your bed without looking at your phone, because the second you pick up that phone and you look at a text or an email, you have now put the entire world in front of you. Would you want them to walk into your bedroom? No. Then why on earth are you letting them do that by looking at your phone? Because that's what you're doing.
I'm tired of being in bed all morning scrolling on my phone. I want to do something better for myself. So I'm thinking of trying journaling in the mornings. I'm not super into writing, but I'm going to challenge myself to write 1 page every day. I got this from YouTuber Ali Abdul's morning page routine, where he writes short pages of anything that comes to his mind for like I think 3 pages. But for me, at first it was a struggle, but I just wrote about random things like my dreams or what I did yesterday, what I'm grateful for. And all this helped with my creativity and gratitude for little things. Before, my mind was so busy with everything else but myself. I would be distracted by work notifications, the news, the stocks, social media. But after journaling for a while, I understand what's important to me. It's a lot easier to think about my goals and what I need to get done each day. So I began to use my journal time not only to reflect, but also plan out my day. I love using to-do lists to plan out my day. It's a habit that I picked up while I was in school. So a to-do list is basically a list of tasks that you want to get done, and the most satisfying part for me is checking the box when I get it done. So I used to think I was superhuman when I was in college. I would have over 20 things on my to-do list, and I would keep track of everything on Post-its, on notebooks, and when I ran out of space, I would write it on my hands. And obviously, if you have sweaty palms, it would not work. So I would write it in the back of my hands. And by the end of the day, it would be filled with assignments that my professor gave me, or like simple tasks that I could think of, like filling up my water bottle so I could remind myself to stay hydrated. And obviously, by the end of the day, I couldn't finish everything. So I would feel very behind. I would have these constant reminders that I haven't finished yet, and I would just feel super stressed. Now I don't have 20 things on my to-do list anymore. While I was writing in my morning pages one day, I realized that I need to focus on a simple to-do list with the most important tasks. I asked myself, am I spending my time on the right things? There are so many opportunities out there, but we can't do them all. We can only focus on the ones that truly matter. So instead of having a long, overwhelming to-do list, I have a simple and focused one. The takeaway is less is more. I think it's the same with plants too. At first, I overcrowded my space with too many plants without considering their needs, so many of them died. If I could start all over again, I learned that less is more. So from all the mistakes and hard work, I put together a list of houseplants that are perfect for anybody, and I would love to share this with you. If you're interested, all you have to do is go to my website, put in your email, and I'll send this list of the easiest plants that will thrive in your home. Embracing the idea that less is more has really shifted my perspective on perfectionism. Perfectionism is about trying to nail everything perfectly, but it often makes you miss the journey. And you also set high standards, and even when you meet them, it feels like you could have done more. And that's why
I don't look for perfection anymore. Instead, I embrace the process. As a little kid, I was always compared to others by my grades. So I was so caught up on getting that perfect A that I didn't care what I was actually learning. And this all made me very stressed and overwhelmed. I still know that this is a problem, but letting go of perfection and control is something I still struggle with, and gardening really helped me let go. I would make mistakes like overwater my plants or give them too much sun, but these mistakes were chances for me to grow, and I would write notes on how to better my plant care in my plant journal.
every mistake I made in my plant journey has pushed me to try something new and unexpected. The process can lead to surprises and change the outcome, and that's perfectly fine. It's really about embracing the journey. This is gonna sound crazy, but I don't buy new plants anymore. It's not about having the most plants. It's about growing and nurturing the plants that I already have. To me, I find a lot more joy saving a struggling plant rather than just replacing it with a new and perfect one. That creates a more fulfilling and meaningful collection for me. For example, like this Monstera deliciosa, I grew from a single leaf cutting that I rooted in water, then transferred into soil, then discovered that I had root rot, was able to save it, and now this Monstera is one of the biggest plants that I have in the Feline Jungle. Like, to me, that is so much more meaningful and makes me love this plant more than just buying it as like a big perfect plant. Just because I don't buy any new plants doesn't mean I'm not open to trading plants or receiving plant gifts. I am still totally open to that if you decide to give me a plant. The old me was not only a perfectionist but also a workaholic. I was always focused on work even when I should be taking breaks. I just can't seem to unplug, which makes it really hard to balance other parts of my life. However, I'm learning to shift my focus, so
I don't limit myself to just work. Instead, I focus on having different hobbies. Living in a big city, not everyone could have their dream job. Sometimes a job is just for paying the bills, and something that you thought was your dream job from 5 years ago might change. And it's very important for you to keep your passions alive. For the longest time, I would just work and not care about other parts of my life. And I had the same routine for the longest time. I would just eat, work, and sleep. It made me feel so unhappy and so unfulfilled. I knew something was wrong. I knew something was very wrong, which made me have the urge to have a creative outlet. I started having different hobbies and trying different things out, like planting, gardening, a yoga class, dance class. I even created this YouTube channel so that I can chat with people with similar interests like you. Since you watched this video until now, why don't you also give this video a thumbs up so it lets me know that you're enjoying my content. And if you haven't already, please subscribe because it really helps this channel grow. Now life is much more fulfilling with hobbies outside of work. I still work, but there's something to look forward to outside of it. All I'm trying to say with these 5 points is that self-care is very important. It's important to have me time for your body and for your own mental space. It took me 30 years to get to this point of my life, and if you know somebody who needs a video like this, send it to them. Know that they're not alone. And if you enjoyed anything I said in this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!